Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco. I am in Eastern Tennessee, coming at you from the South. Welcome, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche.
Hola, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita, your gladiator guru. Yes, on this beautiful Tuesday. It's already Tuesday. It's already the 16th of the month. Like, where has the time
I
gone?
know.
It's going by too quick. So, welcome. I'm here in Connecticut. It's actually shiny. Yesterday was nice and warm.
Nice.
Um, so, it's sunny and shiny. So, from what I can see from the window. So,
Good morning, Kathy. Kathy is in
I
the
think.
house.
I think any kind of weather is beautiful. It's how you're perceiving it, receiving it, being one with it, right?
But I definitely listen. I like my rain. I know you love your rain. I like my rain. I like my clouds sometimes. I love the wind. The wind is great. We have a lot of wind around here. But I definitely like my sunshine. I feel really like yesterday. I did so much. I did so much yard work. I did. We have company coming, so it's like I got so much done, and even like to the wee hours of the night I was still like plugging in stuff for the show. I went food shopping, and it's just it was just I don't know. I had so much energy. Unfortunately, so much that I couldn't fall asleep and then stay asleep. So that was a problem. Catherine Marie, good morning.
Good
But
morning,
I
ladies.
definitely feel very rejuvenated when it's sunny out. Like that sun definitely affects me, for sure. As do gray days.
I see that's beautiful. But the secret to life is adjusting to your circumstances sometimes. And like my daughter loves the sun. My niece loves the sun. They like to lay out in the beach. Iris loves to do that. They don't even invite me anymore because for me, laying out in the sun, it drains me of my
Oh,
energy. I love the sun. I love the sunshine. I like to walk in it, but I can't like lay in it. And if it feels like the rain and those gray days are my recharging days. It's so weird, but I think
that is. That's
the
so
the
weird.
beauty the beauty of it is that you can identify who you are and how it is you do things. Yesterday, because it was really nice in the 70s, we were out back in the park here. So I'm with Savannah, who's 3.5. So I said, "Come on, we're gonna do some grounding." And she hugged the tree with me. Now she's very picky to walk barefoot, but she did it. She walked on that grass with no shoes. She's like, "I'm grounding." She's walking all through it, and
I
that
love
part was
it.
nice because
I
it was sunny.
love
And
it.
I think, you know what, those are the things that, I'm sorry, I'm filling my teacup, that brings you joy without you it just sneaks up on you like hello. And I think that's the what brings us into today is when you can identify what it is that you enjoy and you bask in it, and it feels like you're 100% at it, and acknowledge that this who you are and you're not following any trends or any social directions, or you're not doing it because your husband wants to do it or your kids, you're doing it for you. That is where the perpetual joy comes in. But let's do our intentions. We haven't done that in a while, and I need to hear that because I'm very stuffy, mi gente. Hi, Leanne D. Good morning, prima.
Um, all right, so let's set the attention for the show. Yes, we haven't done that in a while. And we're going to assume that if we don't do it, you're doing it in your head. It's just like the mantra. If we don't do the mantra that morning, you're still doing it in your head. So you should have memorized it already by now. Good morning, Milagros.
Wrote it down,
So
milagritos.
set your intention for today. Be intentional. Have a purpose to your day today. It could be a small one, it could be a large one, it could be multiple. But go out today with a purpose. And
Do it in gratitude. Do it in gratitude. Be intentionally grateful for the opportunity to sit down if you want, to get up and walk if you want, to stretch your arms out, to exercise. Be intentionally grateful that you can be the best you in this moment.
And the beauty is that gratitude goes so hand in hand with joy. Like when a person starts to truly, truly feel gratitude, it's not like you sit there and you're in a bad mood and you're like, okay, I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful. That's not where it's coming. It's not coming from a place of true gratitude. It's just
Hmm.
going through the motions. But when you are truly grateful, joy just fills up, love fills up that spot along with gratitude. You can't be mad and be grateful at the same time, so the joy comes through. And the interesting thing is, the more joyful you are, the more grateful you become. The more grateful you become, the more joy you have. So that it's so important to really have that. And what's interesting is that I like I said, I've been editing Gail Craft's book, and there's one part she talks about gratitude, and she talks about how she really, she would say she's grateful, but she really wasn't connecting with it. Good morning, Gwen. And I thought about this, like I can't remember. I don't want to paraphrase even because I don't have it down exactly, but it really resonated with me because there are moments where I've been like that, where I've wanted to force the gratitude because I wanted to change my mind. I was in a bad headspace. And it's when you force it, it's really much more challenging. But when you actually let go and can be very grateful for the moment that you're in or the situation that happened or is happening or happened, and when you could get to that place, the joy really does come through.
Hmm.
So what we're talking about today is perpetual joy. It's not just about those pieces, but it's also about really defining what brings you joy. Like really, really what brings you joy. Gladiator Guru said, not following the masses. It's not saying you can't like the things that masses like, but you still have to like it in your own way. It has to, like we were talking about sunlight and rain. Gladiator Guru, rain brings her joy. Sunlight brings me joy. That's not saying, though, that if I'm sitting outside on my front porch, which is a covered front porch, and it's raining, it's beautiful because you hear the pitter patter of the rain, and it's, I'm protected. I don't want to be sitting in the rain necessarily. Sometimes I do, but drinking a nice cup of coffee and hearing the rain fall and then just listening to the sounds, that's joyful for me because I've decided that's joyful for me. Like that's something that I've become aware of, and I make sure that I take advantage of it when it happens. You know, if it's raining, I want to sit out there for even for a few minutes because I know that that's what brings me joy.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, don't follow the masses. You can like everything and do nothing with it. I like a lot of things I see on people. I would never wear it. I can go into someone's space and love how they have it fixed because it talks to me about their energy, their spirit, their
Yeah.
personality. But it doesn't mean I would buy any of that. But I don't follow anybody. Like I'll like something, and then I won't. So it's be who yourself, because you know what? When you can say, I'm going this way, there's a fork in the road and everybody's going that way. I'm gonna go this way and see what's up over here. You're not lying to yourself. Your inquisitiveness is bringing you a peace. And let me tell you, peace is joy at rest, right? So you can,
Ooh,
it's
I
bringing you a
like
peace
that.
and you're gonna walk. That's not mine. It's this lady I follow, Lamont, Lamont, something like that. And Lamont. So peace is joy at rest, and joy is peace on its feet. That's how she wrote it. And the badass Buddha and I kept missing each other yesterday, but we text and I made a like, oh, what's that about type of thing. And it's in the little things. It's in the little things. It's in here, like being able to ground with Savannah, and that she allowed it because 3-year-olds, they're icky with grass and stuff like that. It's it's getting up, it's looking forward to doing something that you want to do. I think joy is all about who you are. And it's perpetual joy is really like a scripture, but it's lavender and chamomile tea when you're not feeling well. You
Hmm.
understand? That's the simplicity of seeking joy. You don't have to have all this money in a bank account, a big house, a car of the year. It's the little things. It's being able to get up and have your tea bags and make your own tea according to what you're feeling today. That's
If you
joyful.
want, and that's if you want tea. If you're not a tea drinker, then you drink.
No, but I'm talking about me. So this is what I do. This brings me joy because I don't feel good. I was up all night tossing and turning.
Oh my gosh, me too.
So it's you got to find out. Oh, everything we talk about here on Viva leads you back to you. And if you remember The Alchemist, everywhere he traveled so far, had so much misfortune, met beautiful people, did all this stuff, it still brought him back to him where he began. So the joy is going out there and learning people and meeting and tasting and smelling and listening to all these different sounds. But it also always brings you back to you. And that's what that perpetual joy is que no te está engañando and that you love who you are. That
Mm.
should be the joy you hold and that you believe in somebody and something bigger than you.
And perpetual is never ending. It's never ending joy. When you are when you have decided who you are and what you want to be, it's very freeing because that's the simple things that bring you joy. And listen, I want to be really clear about something. I am not judging people with what their choices are for joy. For me, simplicity is always best. I like simplicity. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to have, I don't have to be, keeping up with the Joneses. I don't have to have the big fancy car. I don't have to have a big fancy house. Although I'm blessed to have, we're in a really, really big house that's really pretty, but it's set up to be ours. It's simple. My sister and I are very easygoing, simple people, and we don't have to have all that shiny stuff. We just like nice things. We like it simple. We like the fact that it's farm. We like the fact that we're getting livestock. It's not for everybody,
Yeah.
But yesterday, I had the little goat. We got a goat, and the little goat,
Alfonso.
Alfonso, and the goat was sitting he was out in his pen all day, and he really has a rough time with it because he's still a baby, so he cries, but he's getting better. So he was out in his pen yesterday, and I had a moment, and I didn't see him. I get a little worried. I'm thinking, oh my God, did he find a way out? Because he's a little guy. He's never going to be very big anyway. So I go around, but when he sees me, he starts crying because he sees me. So anyway, I come around the corner, and he's in this little corner because it was shaded, but he's just laying down, chilling out. And then he sees me, and I said, all right. So he gets up. I start scratching. I'm like, you know what? I'll come into the pen with you for a little bit. So Vida, my dog, and I went into the pen, and he's just like he's just standing like right next to me. So I sit down on this log that, we put a whole bunch of stuff in there for him to jump on and play with. So I sit down on this log, and he comes right up to me, and he's just standing there. So I scoop him up and I put him on my lap, and he just sits there. Like, that's the fun part about him, is he just loves to cuddle. Like, he just loves sitting there. So I sat him on my lap, and there he just was sitting there, and I was sitting there, and I'm kind of scratching him, and Vita comes over, and she's kind of sitting next to me, and I'm just like breathing in the air, and I'm going, this is so peaceful. This is so joyful to me right now, is that I am able to have this moment, to that I could sit here with this goat. Again, not everybody's choice, but for me, it was just I felt so grounded. I felt so connected. I felt like very loved, by both of the animals. But I was also grateful for the fact that I had this moment, and I had the time. Like, I took a break from what I was doing, and I had the time to sit there, and I sat there for a good 10 minutes. Of course, I took some selfies too, because it was just too cute to pass up, but with me and the goat and the dog. But that brings me joy, because I know that brings me joy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned, I've experimented. Does did I ever walk into a pen with goats before and like do that? No, I've never had the opportunity, but I know how animals are for me, and I know how I like to be in contact with them. And so that I knew, because I've worked on myself. And so for me, this is a no-brainer to have them here, because they're also very therapeutic for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Yeah, and that's the beauty. Listen, I've always said this on the show. I blog about it. you must sit with yourself and listen to the whispers of your soul. How else are you going to get to know yourself? Sometimes we purposely create uh, errands or cleaning a house to avoid going to check on the goat. It's okay. Then he's going to want to be all up, following me or whatever. We do that and we're robbing ourselves of joy. And then we become angry when someone else doesn't show up for us. So I think perpetual joy is exactly that, is showing up for yourself and saying, I'm at this stage in my life where I want to go. And I have my dog Vita, who serves as his big sister. And you know what? It brings me just peace, just sitting there, because peace is joy at rest. So when you find out what it is you want to do right now in this season in your life, and I'm saying this because I'm writing something now, because we get stuck of what was. At least I did. My hair's not growing fast enough for me. And then all I think about is Lot's wife, when she just, 3 words, that's all they told her. She still didn't listen. Don't look back. And she turns into a pillar of salt in Genesis. Now let me tell you, how many of us have not really have been present in our now and planning for the future, because we're so stuck on what happened. There's no joy because that chapter is already done. Not to go back and forth, what I'm saying is that joy is in your moment, because this is really all we own right now. Yesterday, her moment was checking up on the goat and finding him in the shade, and he was okay. But the minute he saw her, he's like, oh my God, something's missing in my life. You see, because even animals feel that. And he got up. So if they
They
teach
get
you
that rise
anything
out of
too,
some
animals
males.
can't verbalize, but they show you. And do we pay attention? Because if we can't pay attention to watching somebody's body language and demeanor when we're around, what are we saying about our own instincts, our own feelings, our own wants? Do we do that? Are we joyous with who we are right now today? Not who we were, who we might be, but who we are. Anybody can answer that? Could you, badass?
Ask the question again. I spaced out for a minute. What was the question?
You
Sorry.
spaced out because I was speaking.
No, I was just thinking
Who can
about like
say?
I was thinking about our the fact that we're like I have no idea. I just spaced out for a second thinking that our 4 year anniversary is coming up, and I thought to myself, oh, we really have to sit and plan all this stuff before you go. I'm sorry, I spaced out. What was it that you asked? Now, please
I
ask
said, who
again.
can say? Who can honestly say in the comments, including you, that they feel the joy within themselves in this time, in their now, owning their now and being present in their moment.
I mean, I'm
Because
joyful
are
right
we
now.
really?
Are you joyful? Like, would you say you feel joyful right now?
I am. I am. And that's why I was saying I can speak on this for me, because there was times in the last couple of weeks that I felt not uprooted. I didn't feel lost. It was a weird feeling. I couldn't even put my finger on what I was feeling, but it was because I wasn't letting go of something, of what was or what should be. Um, and I've been working on it, and I am at peace. I'm with people that I love. I'm doing what I love. I'm being very present with who I am. Find myself really taking care of myself. You know, um, walking every day. So I can say at this moment in life, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be.
I agree. And there's a lot to be joyful with what you're experiencing being around those grandbabies. The other thing about joy is this, that even people think that if you're joyful, that everything's going fabulously in your life, everything's perfect. And it's not, like there's a lot that I could sit there and freak out about. I mean, I moved down here and I had to start my business pretty much from scratch again. So the finances are very tight, and the business is growing, but it's growing at a very slow pace. But I don't let that get to me, I mean, I have moments, but then I also started to develop a Baker's cyst on my left, behind my left knee, which I don't like any immobility, like nothing. I'm always going. There's always plenty to do. There's always plenty to work on, and I'm building my business. So the last thing I need is something that's going to slow me down. And
Mm-hmm.
I could be upset about that. But yesterday I did so much regardless of the knee situation. And to be honest with you, um, I actually felt better. Like it didn't bother me that much yesterday. It didn't bother me overnight and sleeping in this morning. So I'm grateful that it's not worse. I'm grateful that I'm still able to do stuff. Thank goodness for those things, because I could still be mobile. I just can't really
Uh-huh.
bend a lot and overstretch my leg. But even that, it's not as limited as it was like over the weekend. So there are things that I could sit and think of that I could not be joyful for. That, oh my God, this is frustrating. This is I mean, I don't have any health insurance. So it's like, if this got worse, this is going to be a bad situation. And there was moments where I thought that. But then I had to look at it from a different perspective and say, you know what? I could let this sideline me and complain about it and give it a lot of energy that I don't want to give, or I could just deal with it and just keep doing what I need to do. And that's exactly what I did yesterday. So it's, yeah, there's not, very rarely do we have perfect moments in our life where everything is aligned and everything is going exactly as we want it to. But that doesn't mean we can't be joyful still. And like, when I got on this morning, I'm joyful looking at what Gladiator Guru is wearing. I love what she's wearing. Like, and it's so funny because usually, right, Gladiator Gurus always talk about her favorite color is black. And she is as bright as she can be, even with the matching
Yes.
band and the glasses, you know? So just
Yes.
seeing what she's wearing brought me joy. The fact that
Aw.
she's she's so stylish today. That was just like a wow. Like it was just like I walked away from my computer, and then for some reason it logged me off. I logged back on and there she was, boom. And I was like, wow, like you look fantastic. Because I like bright colors like that. Like I don't always wear them, but I love when other people do, because it's just such
Mm-hmm.
a, like it's like eye candy to me. It's like a novel, just like a child seeing like a toy that they really like. It's just wow, and it gets me excited, brings me joy.
Imagine my skin. My skin must be happy that it's covered in color and not black. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Dawn. Because I'm always in black. So my skin is probably like, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We were sick. Let's feel better this color. And that's why I did it. I need to raise my vibration. So here we are. Still got a little black in it, but
And
we're
that's
okay.
it. And that, and I love that
Yeah.
I love that you said that it's about vibration. It's about it's energy. It is when you're around people that are joyful, like authentically joyful. Because I've been around
Uh-huh.
both. I've been both. But I've been around people who are, you could sense that it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's pushed. It's like forced. And when I'm around
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's forcing the joy, or not, you could see they're very uncomfortable with who they are truly, even though they're joking around. Their laugh is not authentic. Their body language is showing that they're uncomfortable and that they're off. Versus somebody who is truly joyful in the moment. When you see somebody laughing so hard that they don't care where they are. They're like leaning, they're crying, their face is all red,
That's
they make
me.
that ugly laugh face. That's
Mm-hmm.
when you know people are truly joyful, because they lose themselves. You lose yourself in that moment. That's what joy is. If you're worried about what everybody else is doing, so I had to do continuing education classes this past weekend, and I was up in Knoxville, and you go, and sometimes it's a hit or miss. The information might be okay, might be boring, whatever. So it was okay. The guy was nice, and we took a lunch break on Saturday, and it was so nice out, and the hotel was so nice to where it was. Oh, thanks, Kathy. The hotel was so nice. They had this beautiful outside patio. They had, even though it was a little on the warm side, they still had the fire going. So I laid there and I sat there. I'm not laid there. I sat there for a moment. I ate my lunch. I was very mindful. I didn't have my phone on. I just was talking to some of the other people. And then I sat quietly and let the sun hit me and then to feel the heat. And then I said, you know what? I've been sitting for hours. I want to get up and walk around. So I put my headphones on and I started walking around the building. And I put like some really good dance music on, and I just got so into the songs, and I'm listening to the songs and I'm dancing and walking at the same time, and singing away. And I did not care the fact that I'm walking around a hotel and there's like how many people could be looking at me. I didn't care. And what's even better was I wasn't doing it to show off. Like I wasn't doing it for people to see me. I was doing it because I was in
Mhm.
that moment and it was so much fun, and I just wanted to be there and sing and dance. And there were times in my life where I would do things like that because I wanted to like see if people were looking at me and things like that, but that's where I came from. I was a very insecure person, but I could have been in my car privately doing it. I could have been in the room all by myself doing it. It made no difference. It was about that moment of joy. And it was all moments of joy. I sat and I ate, and the food was wonderful. I sat and I closed my eyes for a little bit and let the sun hit me and put my feet up on the fire pit. And then I got up and I walked around and I danced and I sang, and it was great. And it was so great. And then I got back into the rep for the rest of the seminar, and it was wonderful. And I didn't care if people were, people could have been laughing at me. I didn't care. Just walked in, sat down, and sat for the rest of the thing. And I just felt so fantastic.
Mhm. And that's how you should do. Savannah and I, we dance all the way into right in front of her classroom where she has my phone. I think it's just, and her giggle is just priceless. And to do that is really, really just being who you are, because nobody matters. It's nobody's business what you're doing. It's not your business what they're saying about you. That's live perpetual joy. When you're not worried about who's commenting on you, who may criticize you, who's going to compliment you, when you just let all of that go, that's perpetual joy. Just be you. There's only one of you in this whole entire world. How special are you? That alone should have you feeling a baseline of joy with every circumstance that comes your way. Hi, Gail. So when you wake up in the morning and you remind yourself, oh, I'm up, a new day of life. I still exist. And because you exist, then you are abundance. Abundance is you waking up every day and showing up for yourself. That is perpetual joy. When you can go through the peaks and valleys of pain and discomfort and grief and sorrow, and you still get up and you still do the best you can on that day, that is perpetual joy. Because remember Rumi, my favorite quote, the cure for the pain is in the pain. You cannot grow from where you are today unless you're growing through something. And perpetual joy is that solid foundation that no matter what comes your way, you're going to rise up. No matter what comes your way and knocks you on your ass again, you're going to say, whoo, let me dust myself off and contain myself. And you're going to rise up again. Why? Because there's only one of you in this whole entire world. So you matter and you're here for a purpose. So go out, reintroduce yourself to yourself. Write a list. What don't I like, but I've been dealing with? I don't like to wear hairspray. And every time I go and Iris cuts my hair, she puts hairspray. And I'm like, why do you keep putting hairspray? Oh, I forgot. You cannot forget. So it's always a battle with that. So now I'm alert. Like right when I see that she's about to flat iron and she's reaching, it's a habit for her.
Yes.
So I gotta make it a habit to always be my bodyguard,
I'm the same
my
way. I
spokesperson, my advocate.
I'm the same way with hairspray,
So
same exact way.
yeah, I don't like it. So identify who you are by what you like and what you don't like. It's that simple. I don't like hairspray. So no matter who I go get my hair done, I'm gonna say no. I don't do hairspray. When I go, I'm gonna ask, do you tweeze eyebrows? No, we do the wax, but it's a new wax. It don't burn. No, I'm still allergic to it. So oh, you don't tweeze? Okay, that's it. One lady's like, absolutely, we tweeze. Laid down, did my eyebrows, lovely. Why? You need to speak up. You need to be your advocate. You need to
Yeah,
be your cheerleader. You need to be
that's
your
right.
hype man, your manager, the president of your company.
Your PR
Because
person.
perpetual joy is just something that tells you shit's gonna happen. You're gonna drop on your ass, but you're gonna get up because now you know next time that blow's coming your way, you're gonna know to sashay to the right, sashay to the left, but you're not gonna fall on your ass no more because you know who you are and you
Yeah.
want to keep that that frequency always vibrating high regardless of who's doing what to you, who's saying what about you, who's saying come on, I'll help you grow. You know what? Water your own garden, reap your, what is it called, reap
Reap what you
your
sow.
harvest.
And the
Because you know
thing is
what, you went, go ahead.
no, well, I was going to say that we've done this before on the show where we talked about what are you tolerating? And those are the questions, the hard questions that you have to answer. You have to say, what is it that you're tolerating? What is it in your life that you don't like? Because if you're tolerating things that are not making you happy, if there's things in your life that you don't like, then you're not going to be able to bring joy. Now, there's situations that happen that are in a process. Like I had mentioned before, it's like starting the business over again. I'm not happy that the income is lower, but it's like it's a process. Like I know that that's not going to be forever. But it's if you're in a relationship or you're in a job and you're not happy and you're tolerating it and you're just like every day you're complaining, every day you just want to drive by the place, you don't even want to get out of bed in the morning, that is zapping you. That creates very low vibrational energy. Now, a couple of tricks you could do, like if you say, well, I really at this point cannot quit my job, I need the money, this is the job, okay, then you have to do other things to bring joy in your life. And then as you change your vibrational energy, then things will open up for you. So maybe that job that you really want all of a sudden gets offered to you, or maybe all of a sudden you see a job that you want, or a career pops up that you've been thinking about, and you're like, all of a sudden it's there in front of you. But for you to go in day out, get up in the morning, be miserable, go to the job that you can't stand, complain to your coworkers, complain, get angry about your boss or the money that you're making, then you go home, then you complain when you get home about how sucky it was today, and oh, this person did this. That's all low vibrational energy. And then make it worse is you're going home to a significant other that you can't stand, and that's making it even worse. So you have to choose you. You have to find the things that bring you joy. Doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It can be very simple, but you have to know yourself first. You've got to write this stuff down, because what brings you joy is not what everybody else gets joy from. And so you can't expect a friend of yours to be, the one that helps you bring the joy into your life. Like Gladiator and Guru and I are very similar people, but we're also very, very different people. So there's certain things that we can do together that would be wonderful. But the cool thing is that one thing that I know for sure is that if she and I ever went on vacation together, there would be a bunch of things that we can do together that we would have so much fun. We'd be laughing the whole time and enjoy it. And then there's other things that she has no interest in that I do, or vice versa. And the beauty is that we would be like, hey, listen, you go do that. I'm going to go do my thing, or I'm just going to chill out here and relax and take a nap. And we would be happy to do it, come back and then share what we each did. That's the beauty of not only knowing yourself, but also attracting the people in your life that really give you meaning and that means something. Because these are the people that love you, and they're not going to sit there and guilt you because, oh, well, you're not going with me. Well, I don't want to go by myself. I have no time for people like that. I was that person. I've been around those people. I have no time for that. If there was something, let's say, that I did want Gladiator Guru to experience, and I would say to her, but I would love for you to check it out with me. She still has the choice. She may say, well, listen, I appreciate you wanting to do it with me. I really don't have any interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to honor that. Okay, you know what? That's all right. I'm not going to be disappointed. I mean, it would be great if she tried it. And if she did turn around and say, you know what? Okay, because you know what? I'll give it a try because you're really excited for me to experience it. Then even more. And if she didn't like it, I wouldn't be upset about it. I wouldn't apologize for it. She tried it. It was her choice. So it's like, it's just this okayness. Like, I guess everybody is like, you're okay with who you are. You're okay with other people, and you're joyful no matter what. Even if your flight is delayed,
Mm-hmm.
even if the flight gets canceled, you redirect, you find something. Yes, it's frustrating.
Yep. Been
Yes,
there, done that.
yes, it could cost more money,
Been there, done that.
but it all passes. If you have to spend money for something that you weren't expecting, your car broke down, the money will come back to you at another time. You might have to charge it now,
Mm-hmm.
but the money will present itself. And so why stay in that misery? God bless you. I like what Gail says. Gail says
Because people
life is a process.
are familiar with that. Continuous, yeah. And it's true. You always are in motion. Movement is life. Movimiento es vida. And if you can't do it for yourself, then you're at Shit's Creek without a paddle. Because no one's going to give you 50% of themselves, nevertheless 100. And if they do, there's strings attached. So the perpetual joy is something that you're going to have to invite into your life. And sometimes to make room for it, by acknowledging it and accepting that it's the little things, you're going to have to start removing a lot of garbage you've been holding on to because so and so gave it to me, or so and so told me this. I know this, but it's a million and one reasons why we choose to be victims of unhappiness. And the one thing is because we don't know better. It's the majority of it is we self-sabotage our success, because if we are happy with who we are, if we have that foundation of perpetual joy that no matter what comes my way, what drops me, and like you said, if you just bought a car, you put all your money into it, and then you go out and a truck hits it, what are you going to do? You're going to die? No. You're going to be upset. You're going to try and get as much back from that as you can, and then you're going to plot your next move. And many people, even people that I know, they stay stuck or they go to sleep in the midst of a situation that the solution is just around the corner. And so remember that no one is responsible for you. No one makes you happy. They can add to yours or they can add to your agony. It's really up to you to decide. Perpetual joy is like, hey, and I love the way it's said in Spanish, perpetua. It's forever. It's infinity. So look at it like that. Look at how many people love the symbol of the infinity. No beginning, no end. That's what the perpetual joy is. So when you are out there and you're allowing something to fuck up your day, don't call somebody and start venting and being angry and blaming and accusing and all of that. Because not everybody's your garbage disposal, because I'm seeking my perpetual joy. The badass Buddhist seek. We can say, you got a minute, I want to vent. Totally fine, because then you get to choose whether you want to hear it or not. And a work in progress, Kathy, what you said, we will be a work in progress until our last breath. We're gonna
Yes,
grow, and then we're gonna
that's
go
right.
stagnant, and then we're gonna leave the window open a little, and that negative spirit's gonna come in and wreak havoc for a week or something until you rebuke it. And it's going to continue because at the end of the day, you are King Arthur, who can only pull Excalibur out of that stone. You are that magical, powerful being that can, hola Anita, that can make sure that the joy never leaves your space. So if you can't do that for you, I can't do that for you. The badass Buddha can't do it. We can't do it for each other. We can't do it for our kids, our partner. We can't do it for anybody. It's an inside job. That's all it is. And I've been looking and I don't know. I'm trying to scrub this off. My granddaughter put this on me like 3 days ago, and it's like, what the hell they put in this that it doesn't erase? Like what chemicals? That's probably why I'm sick. Anyways, good morning, Tiffany and Anita. Thank you for coming. But yeah, so I don't know. I truly believe it's an inside job. It's totally up to me to choose to buy. Let me see if I can grab one to buy man-made dyed flowers, or go out and make sure that I can buy my white daisies as nature provided for me. So the choice is always yours. The choice to be fully engaged in your total aliveness, and it's your to choose to live mediocre. So are you living the best of your capacity until you grow up to the next level? Are you just existing? The question is, perpetual joy is just perpetual joy, where you're going to find yourself smiling even when you're angry, but you're going to smell something, you're going to see something, you're going to hear something, and it's going to bring you back to you. It's going to break that trance of, oh hell no, I'm more worthy than anything. So find joy in who you are, because we are all beautiful beings. And if you are in a training which can just like, it's like a ball and chain around your leg, and you can put your earpods and you can sing and you can dance going down the corridor, then you do so, because that's you having fun with your spirit and that inner child. I think that's beautiful.
Sorry, I'm just getting like I'm going through the Facebook feed. Sorry, Tiffany, we
Oh,
missed you. I don't know how we missed you because usually I keep up with it and I see the names pop up, but we missed poor Tiffany. So
yes, Tiffany Bryan. So yeah, I mean, perpetual joy is no beginning, no end. Joy is different than happiness. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is something nobody but yourself can give to you. When you realize that you are choosing to find sunshine on the gloomiest day, then you got that happiness. When that gloomy day just shows you a little streak of sunshine, but you still go on and do what you have to do, that's that perpetual joy. Nothing's going to stop you from doing what must be done in that moment.
I think that for
We
me
can
the
all just fall
difference
back and do nothing.
for me the
Huh?
difference I was going to say for me the difference is like happiness and joy. Joy is so much more playful. Like joy is, children find joy in so many things. Like it's the silliest for them. Everything as they're, especially when they're like 2 3 years old, 4 years old, everything's a novelty because it's new. They've never experienced it before, and so they're looking with these eyes that are very, open and excited, and they don't think because of their experiences. Most children at that age, unless they've had a very traumatic first, 3 4 years of their lives, most of them are excited about learning new. They're not afraid because they have not experienced anything to be afraid about just yet. So they're always open
Yes.
first, right? And that's why it was important when we talked last week about through the eyes of a child. It's you have to also consider that piece of it is how many times have you walked into something with the eyes of the child of being that it's a novelty, it's brand new. Even like as simple as going to a restaurant. Like, have you ever walked into a restaurant and then scanned the entire restaurant? Like you just looked around and you were just like, oh, I love the decor. I like the color. Or, I mean, or maybe you don't, but I know like there's one restaurant in Shelton that it's a Mexican restaurant. It's over behind the Walmart, not the Walmart, the Walgreens. It's in that section. And it's Split Rock, I think it's called. And there's a Mexican restaurant back there. And I love the decor that they have. They have all like the little, it's like the Adobe type of suns and moons and with the colors. It's very Mexican culture, but they have so many different ones, and somebody could say, oh, it's like overkill. How many suns are they going to have? How many moons are they going to have? If you know the culture, it can have tons of them. But I like going in there going, oh my God, that one's really pretty. And that one's really pretty. And I love the colors on that one. But do that, like go into a restaurant that you go into frequently and take the time to actually look at the decor. What is it about that restaurant that you love going to? Is it the sounds? Is it the smells? Is it the food, the taste of the food? Is it the decor? And be in that moment and find the novelty, find what's new and exciting about that, or the drive to it, or the scenery around it. Think of it in terms of a child, like that's why it's sometimes really good to be around kids, because they remind us of those things. Like I make it a habit, not always good at it, but if Charlotte wants to go somewhere, like we went Sunday, I was gone for the whole weekend, and so Sunday I got out earlier, and she wanted to go to this park that's about 30 minutes away. And you know what? We went. I had a client that they ended up canceling, and I said, you know what? It opened up the space, so I took her, and I specifically did not want to be on my phone. I did not want to be looking at my phone while she's playing. I would have played with her, but my knee was bothering me, and I just had so much joy watching her. And what was even nicer was watching the other kids, and then watching the other parents that most of them were not on their phones either. Like there was a few, but there were some that were just so in the moment. And I loved that even more. And it was a beautiful day, and there was a lot of laughing, and from the kids and the parents. And so that brought me joy. That completely brought me joy. And it was a nice end to this, it was a good weekend. Like I said, it was a little boring sometimes,
Yeah.
but it was still
Yeah, that's what's beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah, Gail wrote, I spent time with my grandson last week who sat beside me to tell me a story. He farted and giggled. I laughed. He laughed more, and we ended up rolling and laughing like crazy, finding the silliness in life. Such fun. Gail, I'm with you. My granddaughter does that. Um, and her giggle is just priceless. You want to record it just so on your bad day you can come back and listen
that's
to it.
actually a good idea.
I'm always in the but I'm actually always so in the moment listening to her. Like yesterday, she's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to my studio." She goes, "Oh, Wella, your studio is so awesome." Now, when a 3-year-old compliments you in your art studio, it's like, okay, that's it.
Yep.
It's sealed. So Gail, I love that because we share a room, and she's like, "Let's go to bed." So we'll go to bed, and she'll get up from her bed and do this. Are you up? It's like, get out of here. Or I wake up and she abandoned me in the middle of the night. But the silliness of playing and play arguing and her telling me a story or her telling me, please get out of my personal space. I love all that. She's just so, Kathy, people watching. I have written the best poems, just people watching. So I think go do it. Go and sit at a cafe or sit on a park bench. And what I love about it is you can create your own play on Broadway by just watching two people's interactions and assuming what they're saying by their body language is so much fun to me. So yeah. It
But
is. It is. You can
but
just.
go people watching. Go people watching in different places. Like go to a park and watch
Absolutely.
the kids. Go to the mall and watch people. Go to a beach. Go to whatever. It's just it's or go to a coffee shop. Coffee shop's boring because most people are kind of sitting by themselves. But if you could go to a place that's a restaurant and then sit and have a cup of coffee and watch people, that's really pretty cool. Like I mean, one of my joys is I love the beach. And yes, I do like to be out in the sun. I'm not sunning myself so much as just resting. It's one of the only places that I can literally fall asleep in the daytime without any like darkness. Like I don't know what it is about a beach, but the minute I get there, it's just like Gladiator Guru says, the minute she gets into a plane, she's out cold. And I'm that's me at the
I'm out.
beach down, and that's it. I'm asleep, and it's so funny. And I wake up, I'm like, wow, because for me, the one thing I love at the beach is I just love looking at everything. I love looking at the water. I love looking at the kids playing. I love looking at the people walking. I love hearing the sounds of the kids. It's like, and everything's always so like distant. Like the kids screaming and laughing, seagulls, the sound of the waves. It's always so muffled to me, but at the same time crisp, and it brings me tremendous joy. It's just like putting my feet in the sand. Like my daughter and I are going to be taking a trip, the youngest one and I, to the coast to Charleston. And the only thing that we are planning to do, that I'm planning to do, is to walk around because it's beautiful. Never been, but I always wanted to go because the beautiful old houses. But also to just go on the beach with her and enjoy the moment. That's all we're going to do for 4 days.
And that's beautiful. And the Gladiator Guru said something earlier about how we're very similar but different. See, when I go to the
The
beach, I love
Gladiator
going
Guru
at
said
night.
it. The Gladiator Guru
Oh,
said it.
that's Buddha. I'm like, I took so much medicine before the show that I'm nauseous and sleepy.
Oh, I love you.
But see, when I go to the beach, I like to go to the beach on a full moon at night with a bottle of wine and
Oh,
just
that's
sit
nice
there. I
too.
love it. I did that on Clearwater Beach all the time. My cousin Nancy and I, that's what was our go-to. And then I talk to myself all the time. Let me tell you something. I am so funny. Well, my other full personality is Gail. We're funny. We can go anywhere. People think I'm crazy because I talk to myself in the car, and I am, I'm like
Me too.
theatrical. What? No way. And in my head, I have all these scenarios, and let me tell you, it's fun. But I go to the beach, and what's muffled are the people talking and the kids. I hear the seagulls, I smell the salt water, and I listen to the waves. Those are my favorite. How funny. But that's because you got to know who you are. Um, and then you know exactly what you like. So yeah, Lee, and we got to do that. But that's what and that's the difference because I do like the beach. I love the feel of the sand in between my toes, but I just like it under moonlight, not the sun. And I've
I like
always
that
known
as
that
well too, though.
since young.
I do like that as well. Don't get me wrong. It's a different. See, this is the thing. This is knowing self. So it's different. So the day beach is very different than the night beach. The early morning beach, watching the sun rise. Like if you're on the East Coast,
Oh,
watching
that's
the
different.
sunrise. If you're on the West Coast, watching the sunset.
Hey,
It's
Janine.
just spectacular. It's like it's absolute. Janine, we missed our call on Sunday. I just remembered. Well, I didn't remember. I remembered later in the day that we completely just missed our call. So let's reschedule. But it's about like having
Recycle.
like giving yourself the time and the space to be able to do those things. Like I have it in my head that one of these days I'll probably do it in Florida because it'd just be quicker. But I want to watch the sunrise on the East Coast and then travel to the West Coast to watch
Sarasota.
the sunset. Yeah, I used to live in Sarasota, and they were wonderful. The sunsets.
Yeah, they say it's the best sunrises. But Gail, when I was in Cali for Thanksgiving and Christmas, like 2 years ago, yes, my friend's yard was the mountain. So watching the sun um, rise, it was beautiful. But no beach. But you know what? I think do it. Do a little bit of everything until you figure out what it is you like. Kathy, you've never people watched? Go sit in many different areas, like we suggested. When I will go, my son to this day, since he was little, when we go out, he's like, don't embarrass me because my laugh is very loud, rambunctious. I bend over. And one day we were at a movie theater. Let me tell you how old I am. We were watching, it just came out, the Yaya
Sisterhood.
Sisterhood. It's not the traveling pants. It's the Yayas. Sandra Bullock was in it. Her mother and play. It was a great movie, but I was cracking up. The guy in front looks back, so my ex is like, "You need to lower that. Um, you not laugh that loud." And I'm like, watching the movie, like that's it. Like there's no words to be said. So I start cracking up again at something. Yeah, sister. Love that movie. And the guy turns around and says, I'm enjoying this movie so much solely because of your laugh. It is contagious. And I said, thank you. And, because I am loud, I'm loud in everything. But why is this phone not off like I put it off? So just be you because that's the only thing you can be, right? Every time you fake something you're not, you lose yourself. So the more you fake what you're not or what you think you should be, the lower the vibration. You start losing yourself, where you can't even stand to look at yourself in the mirror. So
And you're not
perpetual joy
happy.
is saying, you know what? Nope. Is to say, you know what? I got this extra weight right here. Woo.
Always an excuse to show the
But I'm
boobs,
still hot.
to show the
One.
girls.
Two. I I love myself. And yeah. And so I don't have the right bra on, ladies. Any suggestion? This is just like a sports bra. But let me tell you,
Again,
I'm gonna continue shopping at Goodwill. Doo 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 doo.
did you get that
Because it
dress
makes
at
me
Goodwill?
happy.
Did you get the dress at Goodwill?
Yes. It was 749 at 50% off. Because I even shopped the clearance sales at Goodwill. So yeah, and this I guess you put around the waist, but I just wanted to put it around my head.
No, I
But let me
love.
tell you, yeah, I'm not gonna buy any clothes new from anywhere until I come back from Spain. But let me tell you, be good to yourself. That's all. Reintroduce yourself to yourself. You know, say, you know what? You done fucked up all the past 6 months, Margie. So let's start over. Okay, what are we doing different today? Because today is all you have. So it doesn't matter the mistakes you made, the poor decisions, or the most awful one for me is the no decision. When you just sit there, I don't know what to do, and you let other people decide for you, then you're upset. Find that joy of saying, I'm all I got. Let's make it happen. Hey, but that's it. So that's it. We had a great show today. I usually go to secondhand store, especially for jeans. Yeah. 4 versus $40. Yeah. My son went with me one day, the day I found my own book. Um, and he bought this, and he really, my kids were raised bougie, and I never thought I was raising them bougie, but he works for the union overnight on the highway. And he found this shirt. He said, I don't need to wear anything else. This thing is so warm. He paid like 4 or 5 bucks for it. So it's perpetual joy is finding understanding in everything, accepting everything for what it is, and then choosing whether you're going to be a part of it or not.
Yep.
That's what perpetual joy is. Hi, Marina. So yeah, so
I
I
know
have
we're at
several.
the I know we're at the end, but I just want to say one more thing about what you said. When you're not true to yourself, you really, really are not going to be happy. In the end, you really, really will not be happy because you're everything that you're basing your life on is a lie. So if you're saying, oh, I have to wear these certain clothes, I have to shop at these certain places, I've got to, you know, have this certain car, I have to have this certain thing, my house a certain way, and this type of house, you're not. And if it's because you truly like that, truly like that, not because you want to show it off to other people, it makes you happy, then that's different. But
Yeah.
if you're doing it because you want to present yourself a certain way and you want to look a certain way to other people, it will take its toll on you. It always does. You'll be
Yeah.
chasing it. You'll always be 5 steps behind. It's a temporary happiness. It's a temporary joy. I always look at it from this perspective. If all of a sudden I lost it all, like if I had all these things and I lost it all, would I be able to still be happy? Would I still be able to be joyful and survive? And the answer is yes. I know how to put sticks together and make a thing and then wash in the river. I that stuff, I mean, is that ideal? No. But in the end, I would be still looking out and saying, I'm just happy that I'm alive. I'm happy that I can do this. I'm happy that I get to see this beauty that surrounds me and that I'm in that. It's
Yeah.
all about you. It's really, again, just coming in, touching and connecting with yourself. We cannot stress it enough. We say it all the time, but we want to make sure that you are actually making the effort to do so. And it's a process. It doesn't happen
They,
overnight. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it can be miraculous. All of a sudden you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I don't like that anymore. I don't never liked it. I'm being honest with it about it, and I don't want it in my life anymore. It can be sometimes that drastic, but most of the time it's a process. You
yeah.
let go of things, and you say, "Well, you know what? I actually really don't like that. I never really liked that." You come to terms. Okay, then I'm not going to harp on it. Why did I let that stay for so long? Why did I let that person be in my life for so long? You just say it's done. It's done.
Well, yeah.
Bring in my life
And
next.
you can wake up. And Janine said something um, that she wished she learned this in her 20s, not now. Let me tell you something. I believe in the Lord, as Medea would say it, Father Yahweh. And I believe that sometimes we are chosen to be the voice for the voiceless, that we are here to teach people. And that's what we do here at Viva. I believe that everything I went through, like I was having a conversation yesterday with my godfather, and I said, I was reading this thing that says God knows what you went through, and your time is coming. And then it's like, why is it that I feel like I've never went through anything harsh, or that I didn't survive anything heart wrenching? Why is it? And he's like, because you're a survivor and you focused on moving forward. But he goes, and you never stopped to take care of that wounded person that is still stuck inside of you. So in my mind, I'm not, because that word victim really bothers me. And I know what I went through, and I said, it's not that I didn't um, cater to her. We had a conversation, all four of my personalities. We had a conversation. It's like, we can stay stuck here. We can string it along and figure out, oh, are we going to do this? Is today this? Or are we going to say, I can't believe I was raped. I can't believe I was molested. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe I almost died in a car accident. I can't believe I was homeless on my 2-year-old and lived in the car for 2 weeks. And no, that's what he. So then, what do? Brush it off, and you said, okay, these are my swords to move forward. So, and you know what? I'm not in survival mode anymore, Janine. Well, that's a whole other thing, but we should talk. I'm not in survival mode now. Now I'm like, I'm living in my vulnerabilities.
We're in create. The
So,
opposite in your brain. The opposite when you're in your survival mode, stress mode, is cortisol is being released. But when you are the opposite, and I can't remember the neurotransmitter that's being released, the neurochemical, but that allows you to create, which is ironic because that's what our conversation is on Thursday. It's about creating. It's about taking that when you're in a joyful state is what are you capable of creating? So we'll talk about that
yeah.
on Thursday.
And you know what? Just say, look in the mirror when this show is over, unless you're driving. But if you're driving, you're at a stoplight, fix that rear view mirror. Look at it. Look intensely into your eyes and say, I love you.
Hmm.
Say, I love you. I used to teach this, the most difficult thing, but if you can do it, halfway over the hump. So,
All right. So we will see you all on Thursday. Have a fantastic day. From the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, be extraordinary.
and from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.